Good morning from the Texas Welcome Center.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Just got all my little electronic devices turned on. Just released the truck brakes. That's why the air compressor's running. If you guys hear that Briggs and Stratton are there knocking around, that's the air compressor. This rest area is 100 miles inside the state of Texas. Should have waited to have all my coffee. Work on my speech impairment. That's about as far as we could make it on yesterday's drive. Let's get some headlights on the subject. And we, oh, I love it, man. It's 30 degrees outside, and got the old girl, she's wound up about 140, but looks like she's rolling coal with that steam out of that. I don't know why, but just the left side exhaust blows steam. Maybe that's to help all those guys that say that these trucks do not have a real stack on the left, they're all fake. Well, yes, the plastic Peterbilts at Kenworth's, the driver's side stack is fake. It is not hooked up. But on a 389 Peterbilt with a hood, they are hooked up. And now, unless it's a day cab, 389 is not hooked up. I think there's not room. I don't know, but anyway, this here, because it looks to me like the exhaust pipes are underneath the cab, so they just don't have the room to hook them up. Anyway, sorry about the noisy beast this morning. Like I said, she's cold, and we are grossed out at, well, we're not grossed out, but we are coming in at 79.4 on our total gross vehicle weight today. So she's having to work on this West Coast run. Y'all see the windmill farms up there? Some guy wanted me to show the windmill farms before. Yes, it's dark, but all those red blinky lights that you can see off in the distance, I don't know if the GoPro shows that far or not. Those are windmills. Texas has a few windmill farms, nowhere near the caliber of California. But I came across Arkansas and Oklahoma yesterday, and that wind was just brutal. It was like, I'm just going to guess, 30 to 40 mile an hour headwind. It might not have been that strong, but it was pretty stout the entire trip across. I was getting ready to go trade this Peterbilt for a Prius or a Globetrotter Volvo, but I got over it pretty quickly. Yep. So I think even my Volvo coming across there would have sucked the fuel down. Not to the extreme as this Pete, but it would have been within a mile and a half a gallon. That'll get some controversy going in the comments. We didn't buy this truck for fuel mileage, and we don't care about fuel mileage. Usually when a guy strikes up a conversation with me and they want to know about fuel mileage, yeah, you need to go buy yourself a Prius or a Volvo, because this is not going to be your truck, you know. And man, we're going to get a whole nother rant on that topic. Let's not cover that. So I turned the camera on. I woke up this morning, did my pre-trip, made my coffee, and kicked all the tires, checked all the oil, all that good fun stuff, and sit here letting the little girl warm up, and noticed I had a comment on my YouTube page there from another driver that I offended. Did not mean to offend you, sir. You have the best job in the country. He is a UPS driver, and one of my videos I commented about UPS used to be my dream job, but not anymore. And that goes back, and that happens on a few videos, actually, that I made that statement. Sometimes it gets a ruse. Well, let me elaborate on that topic. UPS driving jobs, as far as a big truck, or any job really, is the job to have. Okay? It would have been one of my most sought after jobs in the trucking industry. And what's changed my mind? Well, one is now I'm old, right? But I have noticed a difference in their driving behaviors. Used to, all your UPS jobs, they were the most professional, most courteous truck on the road. And I have not seen that driving behavior in the best part of a year. And when I say driving behavior now, I mean they're running on the governor everywhere they go. Cities, construction, lane violations. I mean, it does not matter. It's like they've got this go, go, go mentality. Like FedEx. FedEx would be the worst example of, well, outside of Swift, of driving behaviors. You can't blame FedEx. The FedEx ground is a contracted. The guy's had the contract for 10, 15 years, and he hires any poor, ignorant schmo that can halfway pass a reading writing test and puts them in a truck, and FedEx pushes them with a 2-hour window to get from point A to point B. And if inclement weather arises or traffic jams arises, they still got to go. And so when they get out of their traffic jam or whatever, they go, 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 you know. And their trucks usually run faster than the average regular FedEx company truck. So anyway, so yes, back to UPS. I could not afford to go there as a young man. You pretty much got to start out on the docks, holiday seasonal work, and work your way up, because that's a hard job to get. I think used to it was 1 out of every 7 they would hire off the street. The other 6 came from within. And so that means you work your way up on seasonal holiday work, and then you get into work in the slave docks, and then you work your way up from that to part-time driver, and I guess that's home delivery. And then you just work your way up. I think line haul, in my opinion, line haul would be the final step. It may not be, but that's where the laid-back, easy, big money comes to play. But I think a part of the driving behavior change might be stemmed from e-loans. I really don't know. I really don't think UPS ever pushed their drivers to begin with. Unlike, say, like Conway or Yellow Freight. You know, I don't think UPS ever pushed their drivers. Because I think they were always made to take an hour lunch break. Mandatory. Didn't care, you know, I mean. Yeah, the home delivery guys, they work long hours and they work late hours. So I don't really know about, I can't, you know, vouch for everything on UPS because I don't know all the ins and outs about it. But I'm just saying that, you know, A, now I'm too old, and B, the driving behaviors have changed. And, you know, so I don't know. But anyway, nothing against UPS guys. Y'all still have the best job and the best paying package in the industry. So would I give this truck up to go back to be and go to bid? No, I would not. I love what I do now. Yes, I had the local job for 7 years. I was home every night. That is overrated. A lot of guys dream about that and want that, but I did it. Been there, done that. Well, actually, more than 7 years. 7 years with the one company, and then 2 years with another company. Actually, the first company that was home every night, that was quite nice. The last job with First Fleet for 7 years, no, that was not. It was not pleasant at all. You know, back before they started running illegal, they would push you, and you would run, and they would keep you on the road and burn you up, and you barely had enough time to come home and shower and sleep, and you're back at it again. So even running legal, a 10-hour break at home sucks. So I find doing this right here a whole lot more relaxing. And talk more about all that topic later on. I gotta go defrost windows. I think some of you guys like these night driving shots, but I don't know why. Maybe you'd like it better if I had the head cam on. But anyway, rant number 2. Now, I've got 113,252 miles on this truck. I bought this truck February the 22nd of 2017. It is now March the 7th of 2018. I have run this truck in the ground day in, day out for 12 months now. And some guys will get on this Facebook group and ask questions about the X15 motor, and I will gladly help with that, because I've got 113,000 miles on this X15 engine, and which is a brand new engine into the industry. It is not your old ISX. So you guys that have these ISX, oh my God, it's just ISX biggest. No, it's not. Okay, do your homework. It's not ISX. You know, I mean, and I'm sorry, you older engines guys, some of y'all are having trouble. All engines are going to give you trouble. Anything mechanical after a few years of wear and tear is going to give you trouble. It's just part of it. You know, jeez. But anyway, so yeah, I made a comment on that group today. You know, I've got 170,000 miles on it. Things doing great. I hadn't had any issues. And one guy said, "Oh, don't forget about your forced regen at 20,000 miles." And I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, yes, that was an ECM update. No parts was changed. It was an ECM update. You know, when you get a new cell phone or you download a new app, sometimes those apps will have a bug, or sometimes that cell phone will have a bug, and the developer will discover that bug after it's been out in operation and do an update on that bug and fixes it, you know. So the ECM needed an update. No parts was changed. It did not leave me walking on the side of the road. It did not cost me any money. Yes, I did go to the shop for an ECM update. Holy cow. 113,000 miles of flawless running, and they want to throw fault onto that. Get over it, man. Jesus. And if you're going to go there, I mean, I did also have a fuel pump recall, you know. That I scheduled at my convenience to have the fuel pump replaced. Probably wasn't anything wrong with this fuel pump, but it was a recall. And I went and had it replaced. No point coming over here, truck. There's not a soul around us for 50 miles, you know. Anyway, so, I mean, you know, I mean, 12 months, 113,000 miles. It has not cost me a dime, and it hasn't cost me any downtime. I'd say it's pretty good, and I expect that to happen for another year and a half. You know, and then we'll trade it. Well, these things are going to break, guys. You know, but I'm shooting for 250 to 400,000 miles of trouble-free running. You know, if a sensor goes out, a sensor goes out. Holy cow. But anyway, that's like one guy, KB, y'all will probably see him down in the comments, because he's going to comment, I guarantee you. KB, I don't know if you're still driving or you're a retired driver. Like I made mention, I had an air leak on this thing 2 or 3 months ago. In a 24-hour period, it will leak down from the 120 down to about 80. During 48 hours, it will leak down from the 80 on down to about 50, which causes the buzzer to go off when you crank it up. If you let it sit there for a couple of days. I don't know any truck out here that doesn't leak air. You know, there's about 1 million miles worth of airline and about 100,000 airline couplers on this truck. That one or two is going to fail every now and then. So, if it was an audible air leak and it was on the service brake side, it would be a DOT violation and would need addressed soon. But all trucks are going to leak down over a period of days. You know, no, it didn't do it for the first few months because everything was brand new. I'll eventually get under there and find it, KB. Don't worry, man. The truck is not going to fall apart, I promise. We keep her maintained. But I haven't had to stop to go to the dealer. I don't want to go to the dealer. Dealers suck. So maybe I'll crawl around under it this weekend at Vegas there, KB, and look for that for you. And if I find it, I'll let you know. But the good news is it's clean air and it helps the environment. So there's rant number 2. Hope y'all enjoyed driving in the dark. Listen to idiotic rambling rants. If this thing was a sailboat and I was crossing the Atlantic, stuff would break every day. Stuff breaks. You use it, it's going to break. You know, get over it. It's part of it. You run them, they break. I'm going to go ahead and get over here. I'm pretty sure there's blue lights up here. Can't see them now? Yeah, look at that. But I seen them like 20 miles back, you know. So, yes, sir. And read the traffic. You can see those trucks up there in front of me. They got over after they crested the hill so they could tell the tables. The blue lights up here on the shoulder, so anyway, we are out. Unless y'all want to see the blue lights. I mean, it's just going to be a cop on the side of the road with someone that was exceeding a 75-mile-per-hour speed limit. Because that's what the speed limit is over here on the east side of Texas on Interstate 40, 75 miles an hour. On my intro, one guy asked me what's with the 80-mile-per-hour speed limit sign. Well, one, because it's cool, and two, is because I can do it. I don't know, you know. I mean, where else do you see an 80-mile-per-hour speed limit sign? It's rare. So, hey. Anyway, it was worthy of a picture. Later. Oh yeah, let's do rant number 3. You know, I was complaining about my Rand McNally. You know, I was complaining about the Garmin. It didn't do everything I liked, and so I switched to Rand McNally. Thought I'd give that a try. I probably wish I'd upgraded the Garmin to the tablet style like I did the Rand McNally. But anyway, the Rand McNally is now working fine. It was the settings that was set up in the system. So I just threw it up on the windshield, turned it on, and I should have went through all the settings and made some fine-tune adjustments. But now the thing works great. But I want to clear something up. I know I've showed you guys my map. I have a map. The big laminated large print road atlas. Things are like $60. I usually buy one about every 2 or 3 years. I just recently bought a new one. I found one on sale for like $29.99. I think it's a 2017 model map. And I do use it, you know. But technically, you no longer need that paper map. And yes, I'm not saying you need to rely on the GPS. Google Maps does the same job as a paper map. I use all three: the paper map, the Google Maps, and the navigational device. Now, with all that said, I do not rely on any of them. Okay, I have been out here for quite a few years. I have been to each end of each and every single interstate in this entire country. I can get from my house to Las Vegas, Nevada without looking at a map and without looking at a GPS. I know the route all too well. I can get from Las Vegas, Nevada to Dallas, Texas without the GPS's assistance. So me complaining about it not wanting to take 93 and it wanting to run blah blah blah, it was just a formal complaint of the GPS. I do know how to get there, okay? Yes, the GPS makes life a lot easier when you want to go find 4150 9th Street in New Hampshire, okay? It makes that a little bit easier. Yes, I have had to get out the map and pull up the city map of, say, greater Chicago area and find 8th Street and find the 4500 block of 8th Street on a paper map. Been there, done that many a times, you know. I had to have to stop and get on a payphone to call the customer and ask for good directions into their facility. So we have always relied on a GPS device, and we know how to do it without one. So quit harping at me, Mr. KB, about navigational devices. I know how to get around without one. I've done it. I think when I was delivering Kroger stores, we did the first 3 years or 4 years Kroger stores without a GPS. I want to tell you right now, Mr. KB, when you go downtown Atlanta, and we had paper directions that we would go by from store to store, and those paper directions would come off of Interstate 285, right? Well, we'd get our store delivery done, then we'd come back to 285, we'd go halfway around the loop and get off 285 and follow the paper directions to the next store. Well, once I bought my first Garmin, which I think was a Street Pilot 550C. It was actually one of the first ones that was Bluetooth. The thing was a ginormous device. It was like $550. Time I bought the warranties and the beanbag, blah, blah, blah. Paid like $750 for my first GPS. Oh my God, did that make my life so much easier. Because now when we went to 285, got off, made that store delivery on Ponce de Leon Road, go to the next store. The next store's 2 miles down the bloody road, man. So instead of coming all the way back to 285, fighting traffic, go all the way back around to 285, to come back from the other side, we're just 2 miles from the stinking store, you know? And you ask the people working there, oh, they don't know. They just know how to get to their store. That's the way it is, you know? So the GPS device did make life much easier, hands down. I'm sorry you don't like them, but it's a way of life, you know. It makes the job easier. I know how to go home, but I still turn the thing on to tell me how to get home. Not the fact that I need to know how to get home. I love the fact that it keeps track up with traffic and ETAs, how many miles I got left. I mean, it's a phenomenal device. Love it. I use it for everything. Everywhere I go, I use that GPS, you know. Not because I need it, but because I like it. Sorry, man, didn't see you walking there. Where's this car at? Anyway, so there you go. Woo, that was a big rant. I'm on a rant today. See you. Okay, rant number 4. I get a lot of these new school truckers, and some of them might be old school, but they keep telling me about these WAZE, W-A-Z-E app. And like even Trucker's Path, okay? Well, I downloaded those apps when they first came out. I no longer use any one of them got this new iPhone about a year or two back. I didn't put them on there. Yes, that's new technology that is great. Oh, they tell you whether the way station's open and closed, or road conditions, or bears in the median, or blah blah blah. Right? Well, here's my take on that. That why is that you guys are using and updating and telling you where all this stuff is? Well, doesn't that require you to use the phone while you're driving? Did you answer that question? So yeah, I think that requires you to use the phone, right? Trucker's Path, yeah, I guess you could research and route plan and look for available Walmarts that have truck parking, read the reviews, blah blah blah. But to use that device while you are driving, right now we are in the state of Texas. Texas is really strict on that, as is all the states are strict on that. As a commercial driver, I think the fine could start at $2,500. It could be like a $10,000 to $25,000 fine to the carrier. Now, I might be wrong on those numbers, but the fines are pretty steep. I know in Texas, the red light, a friend of mine was using a cell phone at a red light, stopped, and DMV seen him, or DOT officer, or whatever it was, Texas calls themselves. It was only it might be like a $250 ticket. Well, then it was serious trouble with the carrier he was leased to as well. My boss would probably just fire my butt right there on the spot, so you're done, So anyway, yeah, I agree. Those are fantastic apps. I don't have either one of them on my phone, but I just see it as the Waze app is cool, but only if you use it, right? I mean, how are you going to know if there's a bear in the median at mile marker 185? I don't know. So, yeah. I have these blue pair of headsets. We'll get into that. I'll show you my blue. We'll do a demo on that. But I got hands-free. Everything's hands-free. You want to text someone, you can say, speech to text. I can tell. I can use Siri. Say, hey Siri, text my girlfriend. Because I do that, she'll hear me. And she'll text my girlfriend, and I speak the body of text, and she replies back to me and tells me what the body of text says. It says, would you like to send it? Yes, please. So yeah, you don't touch the phone. Operating a telephone while driving is, and I see guys do it all the time. They got the thing right there in the face texting. But anyway, it gets expensive, guys. It's just a matter of time for you to get caught. So just be careful with that Waze app and Trucker's Path app, which are two really great tools to use. Just use them wisely. So anyway, to answer y'all's questions, yes, I know about them. No, I don't have them. So there you go. Well, we just developed another rant. You guys can tell it's pretty well light outside now. It's just, the sun is just about sun up. And I just met another Peterbilt large car. He was going east. I'm over here going west. You guys can tell we can see for a pretty good ways. Now my headlights on this truck, no one ever complains about them. And I don't ever get bright lighted. I can be behind someone, nobody going, oh my God, turn them lights down, you're blinding me. So they are set right, okay? Well, he's coming from the other direction, and he throws all his brights on me, trying to tell me my lights are on bright. Well, I flipped mine up on bright. So now we're in a Mexican standoff, I mean, he's way over there, so even if my lights was on bright, they're not in his eyes. He's just being an ass. I mean, it does become distracting, but it's not affecting my visibility if they have their lights on right over there, you know. It's all cool. Yes, it's common courtesy to dim the lights, but that really doesn't bother. There's really not much need to run the brights on the interstate over here anyway. But anyway, it's just these headlights are really, really clean. It's a really clean light, and so they're different. And so you get guys that go, oh my God, you know, well, they're not blinding, and it wasn't blinding him. He's just an old fart that thinks it's his job to voice his opinion on it, you know. So they just wrecked and smashed into that median. Probably fell asleep, I guess. But anyway, I don't know if you guys noticed the black marks going across the road. Look like when they went off the right shoulder, it came all the way across the road, hit the. But anyway, so yeah, man. I mean, that's all it is. They just want to complain, you know. Like y'all remember that video that I asked that guy, oh yeah, those look good. Then when I asked him about, oh yeah, they're a little bright, you know, but they're not. I showed y'all they never hit his mirror. So if you look right into, that's like a welder. If you look at the guy welding, you'll burn your retina, right? You don't look at it. You look into the sun. The sun's bright. You can't look right at it, you know. So these headlights do a phenomenal job, but you can't stare into them, you know. But anyway, so they're not blinding. They're not a nuisance. So for him to bright light me clear over there, it was just uncalled for, you know. Because I've got, how long have I been running them? 6 months now. Yeah, I've had 3 complaints in 6 months. So you just find that one old fart, you know, that doesn't like it. He's the same guy that doesn't like e-logs and fuel injection, you know, and automatic transmissions. So anyway, he just wants to be fat and happy driving his old B-model cat mechanical motor. With more power to you, bud. Okay, whew, we on our rants. We'll see if we get any more rants after a while. See ya.